hello there, hello there, hello there. How are y'all doing out there? This is your girl, Shauna Ray, and it is time for Boss Talk. And that's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars, and that would be you. So I'm very, very excited to be back again this week. It's always good to come and hang out with y'all. So let's see, how has your week been going? I hope it has been fantastic. I've actually had a really good week. I am on week 5 of healing from major back surgery and healing in the most amazing way, full of gratitude, full of gratitude. And I got to tell you, um, I'm really, really blown away by just how God has allowed me to heal in this way, to have such a testimony, and just the technology that that also lent to my fast recovery. It's been incredible. Incredible. So a few things I want to share, and I'll be sharing this throughout because there are a few things going on in my great big old life, and I want to tell y'all about them. So one of those things is this Saturday, October 22nd. It is the third Saturday of the month. And for 43, 42 or 43 years, the Black Women's Network has been having its annual conference. And this year, we have a whole new theme. We have sort of scaled it down, post pandemic. We're going to be outdoors in the most beautiful place, the conference room in Playa Vista. And that is it's an outdoor venue with just beautiful foliage all around. But here is the best thing. We have special guest artist performing. We're calling it the Big Pivot. And who pivoted, as we all did this year, but who pivoted in their lives better than Miss Tina Turner? So we have the West Coast Tina Turner review featuring Miss Chantel Denise, who happens to be my dear best friend. And she is phenomenal, and not just because I love her. Y'all do not want to miss this opportunity to get together with some amazing, beautiful women and bond and create some extra new sisterhood and really good food, and just watch a fantastic, and I will say it again, fantastic performance given by Miss Chantel Denise as the West Coast Tina Turner. So go to Eventbrite. You can go to my Facebook page. It is right there. You can go to the Shauna Ray Brinkley, and there's the spelling right up there page, and tune right in. Get that Eventbrite. It's only $60. Only $60. And then later on in the show, as I talk more about health and wellness and all things business, because that's what we're going to do tonight, then I will tell you the next thing that I'm up to. But I want to introduce my amazing guest. So if you read the show notes, you know that, and if you've been living in America over these last few years, you know that what has come about has been the Great Resign. It's been called the Big Quit. And what that really signifies is that so many people in the midst of this pandemic and losing their jobs and not being able to, maintain their families, and then having been remote for so long and then thinking, ooh, do I really want to go back into an office? People have pivoted, and many people have resigned and started their own businesses. So, as you all know, I have been a business owner most of my life, but right now I have been a business owner as a therapist for 5 years, and I'm very excited. I am a corporation, and we're going to talk about what that looks like to start a business, to maintain a business. My guest tonight is a wonderful resource for all of that. So, without another word from me, let me introduce you to tonight's guest, Miss Nadia Francois. She is a serial entrepreneur with a heart for people. A hairstylist by trade, Nadia holds current licenses in cosmetology and barbering, a BS in business administration, and a certificate in women's entrepreneurship. The Louisiana native began her entrepreneurial journey at the age of 19 and has used her experiences and knowledge to help other business owners start and grow their ventures. In 2019, she was nominated for Business Woman of the Year by the Greater Southwest Louisiana Black Chamber of Commerce. July 2020, the What's Your Superpower Empire began with an anthology and expanded into the digital TV world. In 2021, Nadia continued to enhance her digital footprint with the addition of Power Conversations magazine and podcast, which are additional extensions of her YSP digital media group, which caters to minority entrepreneurs and their advancement. In 2022, Nadia was awarded the Game Changer Award by the Beauty Industry Community Awards organization, has spoken on various global platforms, and is launching her newest #1 best-selling book, A Mother's Prayer anthology. And you can connect with Nadia at www.nadiafrancois.com. But we'll get you connected with her as you get to know her. So without another word from me, please welcome to Boss Talk, Nadia Francois.
Hi.
Hey, Nadia. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Queen. How are you tonight?
I am fantastic. And you?
Great, great, great.
Good. I am so excited to have this conversation with you. And by the way, you look stunning. As a hairdresser, I see that hair bouncing and behaving.
Thank you, Queen.
I so love it, Queen indeed, as well. And I didn't say this, but I recently had the gift of being selected by the let's see, the podcast is called
Power Conversations.
Power Conversations podcast and magazine as influential boss woman of 2022. Yeah. And I got a guest on the podcast, and as well as being featured in the magazine. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Yes. So we had a great time on your podcast. And so I wanted definitely to have you on and introduce you to the Boss Talk audience. Yeah. And, let you share some of it, what it is that you do with them. But first, let's talk about how we actually met, because you live in Louisiana, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Born and raised?
Born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the capital city.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So is that where you are now, in the capital?
Yes.
Okay. So you and I have never met face to face.
Nope.
Which was a gift from, the digital world, that we got to know people all over the country and get to know them pretty well, actually. And what they do and the theme pretty much of their lives by just chatting it up.
Yeah.
Right? Like this. Yes. Virtually. So I was a guest on your show. Now, was it Power Conversations then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I was a guest on Power Conversations with a group of other women who were, I'm not sure if it was the Make It Happen anthology.
No, I think it was the Power Up Summit. We did a social media takeover for that event.
That's what it was. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And we started out with Clubhouse.
Yes. And then we did Clubhouse, we did Facebook, and it was good. It was really good. So that's how we originally met.
That's right. And it was a great, energetic group. And we had a good time talking about all of our various ventures as well as our lives, which is why I really love doing this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So we met there. And so tell me, because I know that in addition to being a hairstylist and barber, that you have several other areas where you spread your expertise. So tell us a little bit about what you do. What's your day look like even?
So which day, first off?
Depending on the day, girl. I know.
But what I do, I am, like you stated, a hairstylist, a barber. I'm also an international best-selling visionary author. I'm a business strategist, a nonprofit founder, and I have my own hair care line. So I
Wow.
have a lot of things that I have my hands into. And but the thing that is closest to my heart is empowering women. And
Mhm.
so most of my business ventures include that component,
I
right?
love
And
that.
so being behind the chair for so many years, I have met and, poured either in both areas. They've poured into me and I've been able to pour into so many women over the years. And even when I go through my hard times, even when we go through our hard times, we still have to show up, right?
That's
And
right. We do.
sometimes you just need someone to give you that little good word of encouragement or something like
Absolutely.
that. And
Absolutely.
so, just being in that environment and being around women with those qualities just make me feel so good and make me want to reciprocate that feeling, right?
Mhm.
And so being able to be in a position to touch many women's lives, and actually be able to see the change in them,
Yeah.
is very, very special.
Mhm. Mhm. So now, when did you start your business?
Girl, which one, girl?
Let me ask you- Okay, let me say this. Before you became an entrepreneur, what were you doing? Let's start there.
All right, so I'll give you a little background.
Okay, give it to
So when I graduated well, I'll put it like this. My mother is a nurse, and
okay.
so growing up, that was supposed to be my path, right? I was going to be a nurse like my mom. We going to, keep the
Sure.
family thing going. And so, however, I did join nursing school, enroll in nursing school when I graduated college, I mean, high school and all that good
Okay.
stuff. And I was about in my no, I was probably in the second semester of my sophomore year and I got pregnant.
Okay.
And so, at that time I went to college out of town, so I wasn't at home. And when I got pregnant, I ended up moving to another city because I wanted to keep going to school.
Okay.
And so I moved to New Orleans where I could go to a school that I would finish quicker. So that was my goal, was to
Okay.
still finish school and, raise my boys, and
Mhm.
so after that, after I had the babies, I was still working out. I ended up moving home probably a little bit after I had them. And I was working at the local hospital in the emergency room. And one of my twins were like about 8 months old.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I heard you say I had them.
Yeah. Yeah, twins were my first babies. I'm sorry. I had double for my trouble in the first whip.
I love it. I love it. Well,
So
you got two for the price of one.
yeah,
For
girl, two
sure.
for one. So one of them had gotten sick. My grandmother was my babysitter at the time. Blessed, blessed, blessed to have her do that. But she was my babysitter at the time, and she called and she was like, "This baby is running a fever. You need to come now." And when grandma called, you like, "Oh Lord!" So I'm going over there trying to get the supervisor to let me leave, and they're like, "You can't leave. You can't leave." Nah, nah. So by that time, I'm like, Lord, when I do leave here, I ain't coming back. I had
Oh,
already made up my mind.
real easy decision to make, I bet. Wow.
Yes,
That's
because
it.
a little bit more of the background of my twins, they were born prematurely. And
Mm.
so they had to spend 4 weeks in the NICU without me. And so
Oh,
during that time, I had experienced some postpartum depression, from the separation and all that.
mhm.
And so it was hard for me, during that time.
Mhm. Yeah,
And I was like, that's it. I wasn't doing anything else. I'm going home to my kids, right? And
it.
so by that time, I
Absolutely.
had also gotten married, and you know was going through all of that. So that, well, previously, when I was in middle school and high school, I had been doing hair out of my mom's kitchen. So I really actually started in entrepreneurship well before I was 19, but I got my official EIN at 19.
Oh,
So
wow.
I
Oh,
count,
great. That's so awesome. Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
it was like a real business at
The real
19.
deal. Exactly. With the government involved.
With the
Okay.
yeah, I had the people involved by then. All right. So
Love it.
but I had started doing hair, and I always, just love fashion, love the hair industry, love the trending styles, all that good stuff. And
Mhm.
was doing the hair in my mom's house, some of her work friends, some of my friends, family members, whatever. And so
Uh-huh.
when I came to that point at the hospital, it was because at that time I'm now making decisions for more than just myself. So it
Right.
was like, Lord, what do I do? Because I can't, my husband, he didn't have a job he had a job, but it wasn't
Mhm.
one that he could take care of all of us by himself. Right.
Okay.
And so I'm like, Lord, I have to, do my part.
Right.
So needless to say, I went with my passion. God told me to use what's in your hands. I already gave it to you.
Mhm. Look at that. I love it. Love it.
So since then, I have been using what's in my hands.
I love when you put it that way,
Mhm.
because definitely God does give us our talents.
Oh,
And
yeah.
even, as an artistic person myself, um, my talents are still in my hands. Like I write, I,
Yes.
all those things. And so I think that it's almost also the metaphor of you're holding it right in your hand. You
Mhm.
know, the world is in your hands. You just got to
Yes.
step into it, right? Mm.
Yes.
Now
Absolutely.
you mentioned something, Nadia, and I'm a mental health girl. So I want
Mm.
to go back because you
Okay.
mentioned having postpartum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So what was that like for you?
It was very dark. It was very dark. And it was, I don't know, because back then I was like 23 years old.
Mhm.
And so I hadn't really experienced a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so going through that, and then I'm an only child. Let me throw that out there.
Okay,
And
okay.
so I didn't really have, of course, my mom has been my best friend for probably my whole life, but
Oh, I love that.
everything you can't rectify with your parents, right? And so it
Yeah.
was very hard for me to go through that, not really knowing. I really at that time I didn't know what I was going through. I did
Mhm.
have thoughts of like just end it, like suicidal thoughts sometimes,
Wow.
you know, wondering if my children were going to make it, which once I had them, it wasn't that they were telling me that no one was going to make it, but when you consider all of the hoses and tubes
Oh,
and
yeah, that's
needles and
gotta be.
all of the stuff beeping, and it was just really more scary than anything, but
Yeah.
it was a very dark time for me because I had to kind of figure all of that out on my own.
Mhm.
And so being very rooted in God brought me out of that.
Yes,
Literally,
indeed.
because I did not, at that time, that was like 2001, 2000, and so it
Mhm.
wasn't popular. It wasn't talked about. I'm
Right.
sure many women went through it, but it wasn't talked about. I didn't even know what it was, but
Right.
like I said, because it was so dark, because of the heaviness and the bad thoughts that I was having, I knew
Mhm.
that it was not good and it was some
Yeah.
type of depression. And
Right.
I began, and my mom, I ironically is a mental health nurse.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
yeah, and so, talking to her definitely helped me to come to, like just really come to reality, because when you're
Mhm.
going through that, you are not in a realistic state. You are
Mm.
literally just all in your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there was literally nothing happening to me, for me to
Mhm.
feel that way, but
Mhm.
just all of the emotions and the kids being gone, and later talking to a therapist, realized that, yeah, when something has been attached to you for a
Oh,
certain period of time and then it's gone, and then you can't, like, I couldn't walk in the room and look at my kids, you know what I'm saying? It's
right.
like
Yeah.
I had, and then they were like 80 miles away in the New Orleans hospital.
Oh my. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was a bit rough during that time.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh, hey, Camelia. Hi. Thank you for tuning in, sister girl. Camelia is one of the Black Women's Network board members, and she says, relating to her story of premature babies and lengthy NICU stay with my 1 pound 4 ounce preemie,
Yeah.
who is now 20 years old, and she's BWN's baby. And she is now born in 2002. God is my rock and got me through it, along with the love of friends and family.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that, Camelia, because we definitely can attest to Destiny being a beautiful young woman and healthy and thriving at UC Davis. And I
Yes.
guess by now your boys must be what?
Yeah, they will actually be 21 next year. I mean, next month.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, they will
Wow.
be 21 years old next
Okay.
month. Yeah,
I love it. Now, are they your only two?
they are not. I have four sons total.
Four sons. Girl. Now, what was
That's
that?
a whole other show. That's
I know that's right. I know. Wow. My
yeah.
hat is off to you, my sister.
It's
But
all
it
God.
must have
That's
been
all I can
fun
say.
being the only girl in the house sometime.
Girl, they give me a run for my money. Look,
I
I
bet
tell
you.
my friends all the time at this age, because they're all teenagers and beyond now. And it's
Okay.
like, I feel like I'm living in a frat house. Please come get me.
I bet. I bet. Oh my goodness.
But it's wonderful. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, those boys always love their mama, honey.
Yes.
So that you will have. Now, teenage girls, that's a whole nother
Girl,
somebody.
look, I thank God I do. I do. Because I'm
Yeah,
like,
they turn 14 and you're like 13 and you're like, who are you? What happened to my sweet, innocent,
where's my
lovely
little
child?
no?
Do you have another expression other than like, why is she looking at me that way?
Right. Why is my mini me looking at me?
Yes, yes. She used to like me. That's so funny because I was watching early this morning. I woke up at about 7:30 and I was watching an episode of Blackish
Oh,
where Zoe had jumped into her teen years and they caught her doing things like driving, you know, without a license at 15 and all of
right.
that stuff. And it's like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do with her? That is so funny. Hey, Miss Angela. Absolutely. She says God heals. Truth. Truth.
Absolutely. Yes.
So absolute. Absolute. I often think about, like we were talking, you know, some of the experiences that we get to have. I say that because God gave them to us, and so we
Yeah.
get to do them.
Yeah.
And just thinking about people who say you don't look like what you've been through.
Mm,
And all we can say is thank God, right?
exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, yeah. Now, let me tell you this. Maybe you don't know this because I don't know if we talked about this on your show. I'm a jeweler, right? So that's one of my things.
Oh,
I make jewelry. I did not make these earrings, but I have recognized that I am not wearing earrings. That is not something that's okay for me. So right here, we're going to put these on. And
come
while we put
on,
these on,
girl.
we are going to shout out Simone Smith because these are hers. And I don't know if you can see, you probably can't. Wait. Oh, maybe. Hold it. Can you see is a little encryption
Oh
there?
yeah, the engraving.
Yeah, and that's her
It's
name.
gorgeous. I love the shape.
Aren't they wonderful? I got
Yes.
these at the Ladylike Foundation event where she was vending, and I have now four pairs of her earrings, and each one is more unique than the other. I just love them, and they're all like sterling silver and gold, and just Yummy. So now that since I had to interrupt and put them on, I have to give her a shout out.
Beautiful.
If you don't know Simone Smith, she is married to the most handsome and valiant LL Cool J. So that
Okay.
part. Yes, yes. So now let's dig a little bit deeper.
Okay.
So you're home with your boys. You decided I'm never going back to that place again because they didn't treat me right. And and I always tell people I've been fired for some of the best places on the planet. So
Yeah.
uh, but they weren't for me, right?
Exactly.
And
That's right.
so, and when it happens so many times, you have
Mhm.
to finally listen and be
Yeah.
like, okay, God, I think you're trying
I
to tell me
think
something.
God is trying to tell me I don't need a job.
Exactly,
I just
exactly,
want to fit the bill.
exactly. And you just have to lean in and be like,
Yeah.
okay, I know he's got this.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
So what was your first business? What was that?
Uniforms and more. I was selling medical scrubs from the trunk of my car.
Get out of here. I love it. Hello, Celeste.
Hey, Miss Celeste.
So, okay. Medical scrubs. What was it called?
Uniforms and more.
You're like, just come on right here. I got it all right
I
here in the
got
front.
it. I got because I was in nursing school and my mom was in I had the people.
I love that. Okay. So this was during your working time, during the time that you were working in the medical field.
Yeah, well, it was during my nursing school, kind of,
Okay.
in
Okay.
that area. Yeah.
I got it. I got it. So I
Mhm.
love that you were like, I know my market because that's a big thing. And I bet that's some of what you teach the people
Yeah.
that you get the opportunity to coach, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us more. So uniforms and more.
Yes. So that was my first business. Of course, I did not have any business background, anything other than being the daughter of an entrepreneur. And so it ended probably about a year because I spent all the money and didn't get more inventory. So back to the
That's a
jobs,
good one.
right?
That's a good one. You know what? Out of necessity, I'm gonna get me a
Yes.
job. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I ended up during that time, I ended up working for telemarketing companies. I was trying to figure out what was the word telemarketing companies
Okay.
for the next couple of years while I was in college. And, that really, let me just throw something in there real quick. My actual first job for someone, I worked as an office assistant, filing stuff, organizing,
Mm,
stuff like that. So
okay.
that kind of started my background in business, offices, and that type of stuff. And then,
Okay.
like I said, went through the nursing school stuff. Fast forward, telemarketer. So I'm back in the office,
Okay. But now
and
you
I'm
know
on
how
the
to run
phone.
one too. Okay.
Yeah, on the phone. But that built, and I just, even though I did have jobs, but I'm an entrepreneur. I just feel like I was born to be an entrepreneur. Just,
Absolutely.
after maturation and all the things that I've been through and all of that with jobs and people and their businesses, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And
Hmm.
so, but those jobs built me up to where I could be an entrepreneur and
I
thrive,
love that. Yes.
right?
Indeed.
Because it
In,
gave me those skills. It gave me the customer service skills I needed. It gave me the
mm.
communication,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
a very, very important skill in entrepreneurship. It
Hmm.
gave me organization. Like I can take anything and make it line up, right?
Okay, that's really good. That boat. I missed that boat. That's not
Yeah,
my not good.
and that is why I am here. But anyway,
There she goes. Pitch, girl, pitch. I love
yes.
it. Absolutely.
So
What's
that's
T Man saying? Yes. You let your day job guide you to your
Yes.
next job. Absolutely. Yes, Soror, 100%.
Yes, I did. And, of course, it didn't come without obstacles. It didn't come without
Mhm.
stumbling blocks, people being the stumbling blocks, lack of information being the stumbling blocks, yourself being the
Yeah,
stumbling block.
got your own way.
Because as I got deeper into uh, my beauty career, I went through a divorce. And
Mm,
so, of course, we don't expect that. We don't really prepare for that type of thing, but I still feel that God had it all lined up
mhm.
because when my ex-husband left us, he never came back, like never. And when he divorced me, he divorced our sons. And so that was another big
Mm,
traumatizing mental health issue, right?
sure.
More abandonment, but God, but God.
There you
Oh,
go.
and so,
Yes.
just
So
going
did he just let me just go back.
go ahead.
Did he just like go to the store and I'm out?
Pretty much, he kind of went to work and took his clothes,
Wow.
literally.
And you
So,
managed how did you that's a blow. That's like a Muhammad Ali punch in the jaw.
yeah.
So how did you manage that with four boys
Yes, my
at
baby
that
boy at
time?
that time was 1 years old. The twins were 6, and my middle son was 5.
My.
So, needless to say, I was a wreck.
Mm,
I was a
yeah.
wreck because it was already hard figuring it out with someone. Then I had to turn around and figure it out by myself.
Yeah.
And the fact that I have no financial support
Wow.
with
Yeah.
4 sons.
Now were you guys in a house?
We were, but it was my family property. So that
Wow.
was the best part of it. Well, I ain't
Yeah.
gonna say the best, but one of the good parts of it. I didn't
Mm,
have to uproot my children, you know.
beautiful.
So there were some good things that made it better for me,
Sure.
but it still was hard, just trying to figure out life for 5 people.
Wow. But look at you now.
Yes.
Yes. So okay. So you're in this trauma.
Yeah.
You are figuring it out as you go because that's what we do, right? We figure it
Yep.
out as we
Pretty
go.
much.
God, what's the next step, God? Where are we going? What
Yeah.
we do? You
Yeah.
know. But thank God for that faith, and also I just want to touch on something: the generational passing down of land is so beautiful,
Yeah.
and in the South I love how that happens, because your mom was working and was a nurse and, she took care of business and you were able to go into that home and the blessing of not because that's one of the things that a lot of the children that I see in my practice have gone through is that
Yeah.
uprooting
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
uprooting equals upheaval in
Yep.
in
Their
all of
life.
their mental emotional
Yeah.
space. So
Yeah.
thank God for that.
Yes. Yes. I
Hmm.
thank God every day for my mother and the plan that he gave her that I
Hmm.
knew nothing about.
Right.
But it
Such a
still
time as
saved
this.
it saved me. It saved
Mhm.
us. It saved me and my children. Because if I would have had to, find somewhere to live, pay for somewhere to I just really stopped thinking about that because it gets
Right.
overwhelming just even and you
Yeah,
just
the
say, God,
consideration of it
thank
all, right?
God.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you, Jesus, through it
yes,
all.
indeed. Yes,
So,
indeed. Like
you know,
Terry said, his plan, not our
not
plan.
our plan. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So fast forward for me.
All right. So, past the divorce, children have grown up And I've probably opened, well, not my own. I've helped other people open their businesses. I had a few other jobs in between that kind of bridged the gap. However, I
Mhm.
still was doing hair the whole time. 20 years doing hair and raising my babies. About a few years before they graduated high school, my twins graduated high school, I started a medical transportation company.
My girl. I
And
was
so, yeah, I you know how you network with people, and I knew this guy that had started a medical transportation company. And you know, when you talk to people and they know what your desires are, because at that point I was like, I got to go back to school, I got to do something, I need some more
mhm.
money. And he was like, you need to try this. And I was like, I'm open, how much is it to start?
Right, sign me up.
Right, right. Like, what I gotta do? So he kind of gave me the everything that I needed to do to get it going. Me and my dad put together and got it going. My dad bought me my first van, and it was on. And so I
Oh my,
ran that business for about 5 years up until the pandemic. And
wow.
at that point, it's weird how that happened because I didn't close because of the pandemic, but I closed because the insurance rates were super high. You know, it was
Mhm.
just a bad time for medical transportation. There was a lot of stuff going on in the regulations and the
Mhm.
government. They were cutting the money, they were doing a lot. And so
Yeah,
I was like, you know, I'm not feeling it no more. I don't want
yeah,
to, because it's a very high demanding business.
yeah, I
And
bet.
with me, with the kids, you know, they helped me through it. Don't get me wrong. They were the car washers, they were the gas pumpers, they was,
I love
you
it.
know, all of that stuff that I needed outside
Right.
of, administrative stuff. But, it just got hard for me as a single
Mhm.
mom and doing all that extra stuff. And so the kids had graduated. I had bought them cars and all that. My mom was like, Nadia, you need to let it go. And I'm like, what?
But you did, but
And
then
she's
here's
like,
the
your
thing.
children have grown up. You don't have to hustle this hard no more.
Look
Those
at
were her
that.
exact words.
And you're like, "Well, wait, how do I not, that's all I know," right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. Well,
But
wait, let's
oh, go
look at
ahead.
one
Go
more
ahead.
thing. Oh, go ahead.
So, once she said that, I really got to thinking, and I'm like, you know what? She's right. I don't even need that much money anymore, because
Mhm.
raising them, I taught them to get jobs. Even though I'm an entrepreneur, I still make all of my children get jobs. Like my 16-year-old today just got his first call for an interview. So,
Oh, wow.
yes, because you have to know if it's for you or not. I mean, that's
Right,
just, you
right.
know,
And you have to develop the work ethic
yeah,
and the skills that
yeah,
that go with running your own business, if that is
absolutely.
your path. Because
Yeah.
I know learning, along the different things I've learned along the way on a ton of jobs, even as I was, the times when I was a bad employee, which is more than once, but
Right.
those times serve me now in that, this behavior is not, this is not this is not what I'm looking for. This is not what's
Right.
going to work. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
every experience is a lesson. And so
Yes.
I think that's great. My first job at 16 was McDonald's.
Hmm.
Of course, I got fired.
Well,
I
I
didn't
thank
want
God
to
I
work.
never had to work in the food industry. I was always an office girl or a
Yeah,
phone girl.
I went. I was a cheerleader. I was 16. I probably worked there a month or two, and my supervisor was
Go
like,
back.
um, I would go in every day and I'd be like, I can't work today. I got cheerleading practice. I can't work today. We have a game. I can't work today. I got a track meet. I can't work today. I got a I'm doing gymnastics. I can't do it. So you know what she said? Okay, Dilemma Dolly, come here. That's what she nicknamed me. She called me Dilemma Dolly. And she's like, come here, Dilemma Dolly. I am going to release you from this job. And I was like,
Wow.
what does she mean? And I ran out of there so fast. I was like, well, I tried,
I
but
did come and tell you I wasn't coming.
exactly. I was all dressed up in my cheerleading uniform. She's like, yeah, go do that.
Yeah.
So, but it's great that he's starting out at 16.
Yeah.
He's got his interviews going. That's wonderful.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
So
So now the boys are, you know, grown. Your mama says you do not have to do it like you've been doing it. And so
yeah.
then,
So then I decided to go ahead and cancel my contracts and all of that and close that business. Then 2 months later, COVID-19 happened.
wow. Now, see, that's God though,
Oh, I know.
because he's like, uh, you ain't gonna have no business in a few minutes. And before it
Yeah.
gets crucial, I'm gonna let you shut
Do it
this down
yourself.
because you about to not have nobody to transport.
But ironically, they still wanted us to transport,
Really?
really. And that was not an option for me.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
before even going through all that, God knew.
Mm.
He already, it was about to be the hospital all over again.
Okay, right, right. Yeah, no, you can't no, you gotta go out here and be exposed.
Right. I'm
No,
not doing that.
no.
I'm not doing that. Nah.
Exactly.
Yes.
All
So
right.
that happened. And then the pandemic came. I was grateful that it happened the way that it did. And then I had to go back in my hands. I had to go back in my hands because I couldn't do hair either.
Wow. Mm.
So, something that I had been giving away for years, my business knowledge,
Yes.
I had to monetize it. And
I'm mad at you. I love it.
how I began, my coaching program. And,
Mhm.
you know, um, I have a networking society for female entrepreneurs.
I
I
love it.
began the visionary portion of my authorship, where I started doing the anthologies, and all of that great stuff came from COVID.
Wow. Yes, yes. And it is, and that's exactly what I was talking about. The big quit, the great resign. People got real creative and
Yeah,
started thinking, so I don't want to go back in there. And I mean, I know tons of therapists alone who
yeah,
gave up their offices and are happily doing therapy
virtual.
out of their homes
Yeah,
virtually. Yeah, I on the other hand, I'm like, no, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of this. My
feel
little
you.
brain is like, no, 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 no. I need to be out of these four walls. I need a
Yeah,
different scenery that come back to this other scenery. It makes me feel really good to be able to do that.
I
But
feel
again,
you on that. I
the
do.
pandemic provided me with the office space that I have
Hmm.
because the people that were there before abandoned during COVID. And my own therapist is in the building, and she was like, "Before you go look down there, you might want to check it out in here." And I was like, "Really?" So now I'm in there. I love my office, and I get to go downstairs 2 flights to have therapy.
One stop shop.
That's how we do it. I love it. I love it. So what is that phrase? Necessity is the something of invention. Have you heard that?
I haven't.
If you know that saying, please write it in the chat. Necessity is the mother. That's it. That's it. Necessity is the mother of invention. And like we all had to pivot,
Yeah.
right? And so we had to do, by any means necessary, right? Because,
Yeah.
and now, by the way, we are accustomed to this lifestyle, right? Because we're bringing in a certain amount of money and we're living well and loving it and
Yeah.
eating well. And thank God for that. And then all of a sudden, there's this whole new thing happening,
Yeah.
right? Right. Oh, she says necessity breeds invention. Ah, that's a good one too. I've always heard necessity is the mother of invention, but that's a good, yes, it does. Absolutely, Miss Celeste. Absolutely. So I think that, as I think back on um, the idea of starting a business. I know I just kind of did it, you know, like just not really having I didn't have a business plan. I didn't have any
Right.
of that. I just started a business. So
Yeah,
what advice do you give to people who are in the beginning stages who might want to um, start a business? Do you give strategies for that?
I do. And my main strategy for that is start on a solid foundation, meaning have all your paperwork in order.
Yes,
Because
indeed.
just like the pandemic came and there were businesses that had been in existence for 20, 30, 10, 5 years. And when the aid came, which was the assistance for
Yes,
business owners,
indeed.
they didn't qualify because they didn't have a 125 or $150 piece of paper.
Thank you.
Do it
Come on,
right the first time.
teach that,
When you start,
girl. Yes, you have to say that again. You got to
do
say
it right when you start. Take all the time you need
that. Hmm.
and get your paperwork in order. You'll
I
be
love
able to do
that.
everything else you need after that for as long as you need to do it. But you need to get
Yes,
start on a solid foundation. That's what
absolutely.
I
I
say.
love that. And it's biblical. Hello.
All
Yes.
things in decency and in order.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, that part I had in order, but it's so funny. I had been in business, gosh, when I had been in business since 2017, and
Mhm.
then during the pandemic, a friend of mine who was a part of our Black Women's Network and worked in the mayor's office and actually helped us be a part of the mayor's first LA WED. It was called Los Angeles Women's Entrepreneur Day. And
Okay.
so we partnered with them along with some other businesses, and we got to come down the stairs of City Hall like marching like Charlie's Angels or something. It was a bunch of us, and come down to some really beautiful, great music, and we were bopping and got up there, and then they announced the opening of it, and it was a good thing, and there were many vendors from different businesses talking about what they do. There were people there to help you get started, so there are all these things that lent to women entrepreneurs, but one of the things was funding by this
Mhm.
organization, and they actually selected women who they chose to receive this funding, which a lot of them had started their businesses from or expanded. Like one woman was a started making empanadas in her
Mhm.
kitchen at home, and then of course they were so good, everybody wanted them, and she had to expand, but she didn't have the money to expand, so this helped her
Yeah.
to expand and get that kitchen she needed and all those kinds of things. And so in doing that, she worked there for a couple of years, and then the next time I talked to her, the next thing I knew, she wasn't involved anymore, and we were still doing it, but it wasn't her. And so I was
Mhm.
like, where did she go? Well, she landed quite well, and she is the director of the Valley Economic Alliance, it's called,
Mhm.
and they are a great business resource. So they help you get funding, they help you learn about all those things that we talked about, like getting the foundation set, business plans, all of that, and just a ton of things. They do great webinars and all of that, and now Black Women's Network is partnering with them to just help get the word out
Yeah.
for the things that they do, because these are all opportunities that people don't know about, that there
Yes.
that there is funding out there, that there is free training,
Mhm.
all of that. And so when I met with this man that I met on one of their webinars, and I said, we're talking to him about funding and all of that, and I said, but I don't have a business plan and da da da. And he goes, well, how long have you been in business? On 5 years. He goes like, and what is your business exactly? So Todd told him all about it. He goes, well, at this point, you don't need a business plan. Your business is the plan. And
Your business is fulfilled. Your plan is fulfilled.
That's it. So, but I would still tell anybody who is really starting up in this climate to have one, because
Yeah.
actually, too, a lot of the funding that you can get might require uh,
Most
that
of them do. Yeah.
yeah.
They need to see what your goals are.
Sure, sure. Projection is
Yes.
yes, exactly. So that's great. So then tell me, in your coaching, do you coach one-on-one or you group coaching? What is your strategy?
I do one-on-one and group coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
I have a app guided type of curriculum, if you want to call it. But I do a minimum of 3 months coaching with female entrepreneurs, teaching them how to build systems within their business, making sure they have policies, procedures, all of the stuff that if you have to disappear from your business for a few days, weeks, months, because we are what? Mothers, we are daughters, we are wives, we are this, that, and the third.
Yes, indeed.
And sometimes we are pulled away from our business, but we still need to do what? Make our money.
Get the
Even
bag.
if we can't specifically make the money, we still need to remain relevant.
Mm, absolutely. I love it.
So, a big part of my coaching is mindset, setting goals, being organized, and making sure that you use a list.
Now talk about the list.
The list is a to do list, right? And so I know everybody is all techie and they want to use their phone. I have an app for that. I have an app for that. But guess what? If that phone dies, if your screen
Boom.
gets cracked, if you do anything and forget to put it in the phone,
That part. Like I forget to hit the send button when I'm texting. So you
right? And you wake up like, wait, nobody responded. Oh, you
nobody
didn't
heard me.
see it.
Right. Exactly. And it's like, oh, they didn't see it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I recommend that my clients use pen and paper.
I love
That
it.
is one of my biggest things because, like I said, we get caught up on the, oh, there's an app for that, or I can put it in my notes and I can do this, and then the phone zoinks out and you don't have anything, right? So
Yes.
when you have your list, and I also believe in the techie stuff, but back it up with pen and paper.
Absolutely.
That
100%.
is the best thing
Yeah.
our generation has ever had was pen and paper.
Thank
And
you.
so backing it up with your like this wonderful lady says, the beauty of Hebrew, a manual list.
That's
And
what
I
I'm
like to
talking
call it
about.
a working to-do list.
I
And
love
I like to call it that because, okay, me personally, I use a to-do list by the week. Some
it. Okay.
people use it daily. Others may do monthly. It just depends
Mm.
on your demand and what you do.
Yeah.
But let's just say me on my weekly list. There's some things that I didn't get to check off this week when I get to
Yes.
Friday or Saturday, whatever day I decide to end the list, right? The 3 or 4 things that's left from last week, you move that on over to the
Mm.
new,
Yes, indeed. I love it.
and then you don't forget to prioritize. Y'all,
Ooh. Ooh, I gotta put that in the chat. That's a good word. Put that
yeah,
in the chat for me,
because
Gigi. Put that in the
sometimes,
chat for me, Gigi. Prioritize.
yeah, because sometimes you have a smaller time frame to get some of your tasks done, right? So
Mhm.
I like to, when that is the case, I like to prioritize well, I do this every day. I'm not going to even sugarcoat it. I prioritize my income producing activities daily.
Oh, say that again. Prioritize my income producing activities daily. Girl, that is that's rich. Okay. Talk about that. Tell us about that.
So let's just say I not feeling well. All right. Because sometimes I don't feel well. And I know that there's other people that don't feel well. Right.
Mhm.
But you have this list of things that you need to get done. How do you decide what's the most important? And I
Mhm.
always like to use the income producing activities as the priority, because if you're not making money, you're not doing anything, right? You
Mhm.
can't pay anyone, you can't buy anything. You're
Absolutely.
stuck, you're stopped, you're at a standstill.
Right.
So, therefore, I always prioritize my income producing activities. So if I'm not feeling well and I pull that list out and it's like email this one and text that one and create this and do that, I'm not doing none of that. Where's the thing that has the dollar sign by it for the day?
Ooh,
Right?
girl, that's so good. That is so good.
So if that's what every day you should have an income producing. If you are a full-time entrepreneur, you should have daily income producing activities, right?
Mm,
And
yes.
so that is what you start with.
I like that. I like the phrasing of it. So Gigi put in prioritize, and Terry says, I still use a Franklin planner.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I have the I enjoy using the ones that are you can get them on shades of color.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think now if you Google shades of color, they have actually expanded over to
Mhm.
fair as well, FAIRE.
Mhm.
But I wish I had it down here. My planner has a beautiful, beautiful black woman on the front, and if I open it up, it has affirmations and
Yes.
beautiful sayings, has recipes for healthy things, and then it has, my list. It has your to-do list. It has, scriptures. It's just amazing. I really love them, and the artwork that I always get is from G Baby, who who actually was one of the first people to put my jewelry in her place
Really?
here in California until she started growing and growing and doing only her own. And now she is she's an amazing fine artist as well. And so I like that because it intrigues me. It makes me want to go look at it. I enjoy what I'm looking at when I'm doing it. And it helps me to just focus in on, okay, let me get this down in here so that I can, but it was hard for me when I first started using it because I would forget to look at the list.
Yeah. And so that's why I want to say this. I love planners. I do. I love, because I love to write stuff. I like to
Mhm.
write. I like to plan stuff out. So I do love planners, but I'm going to tell you my favorite way to write my list:
Spiral?
a one subject notebook.
Oh, okay.
Because,
Okay.
like you said, sometimes you forget to go look at the planner.
Mhm.
Sometimes the planners are bulky. You don't want to carry them around with you, or you
Mhm.
get them, you didn't put it in the cart, and you in the house, or you're in your office, it's still in the car, you know. So with a one subject notebook, you can write your little list, tear it out. And this is my
Ooh.
favorite way to hold my list, like this.
I
And
love
then I
it.
can put it in my bag that my backpack that I tote with me all the time. I can fold it
Mhm.
up, put it in my purse. If I need to buy something from the store, I can write the list on. And then guess what? You can just throw it in the trash.
That is good.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I still
Yeah.
use my planners. I use my planners for my bills. I use my planners for things that, are long term. But for the
Mhm.
short term, the day to day, I use my one subject notebook.
Right. Right. Your planner still has your schedule, like,
Yeah.
meeting with so and so at this time on this date
Right.
and that
Right.
kind of thing as well. Oh, I like that. I actually like that. Because too, I'm starting to graduate from these big purses, right? I'm
Yeah.
trying to carry a small purse. And so there's only a few that my planner, and it's not even big planners, journal size, but there's sometimes it won't fit in those.
Right. And
So
that's
I
why I like
do
my
like
little paper.
that.
Yeah.
I like
And
that. And I
sometimes I
also
don't carry purses. Being a
Mhm.
boy mom, they wasting stuff, stepping all on your stuff. So I had to make it where, look, I can use this. When they were younger, I used Post-its so they can stick
Uh-huh.
somewhere and they won't be messing with it, so
I
Just
like that, but I
requires
love the
trust.
practicals.
Yeah.
The practical nature of what you're speaking about is amazing because these are things that it's like I hadn't thought about that, right? And so you go into the things that are practical and make it work. So
Yes.
Terry says notes in the smartphone and the planner stays home. Ah, got
Mhm.
it. Got it. Yes, yes. Well, so how do you find your clients? Or how do
So
you find you, I should say?
so I host every Monday, I host a clubhouse room
Ah,
called Affirm, Align, Activate.
mm,
And what that is a community that I've built surrounding my coaching business. And we go there every Monday morning at 6 a.m. Central, and we affirm our businesses. We align with the scripture of the week, and we have an activation prayer, which all of this comes from my anthology, Powerful Affirmations for Fempreneurs. And so we use the affirmations that are in the book, we use the prayers that are in the book, and then we just relate a scripture with it. And then so that is kind of like our, then I do a business builder, like a good business tip, a little 10-minute business
mhm.
tip during that. And then I also have a Facebook group that I nurture.
Okay. Now tell me, Mondays at what time on Clubhouse?
6 a.m. Central Standard Time.
You saw my face go.
I know it's early, but
Woo child.
if
Okay.
you are committed to building your business and making sure that you are in alignment with what God
Mm,
has for you in your business, you will get up and get this information. The
come
room is
on.
only 30 to 45 minutes. That's it. I do not go over ever
Mhm. Okay.
unless I start late, which is hardly ever. But the room is 30 to 45 minutes because I know that people are probably getting ready for work, because most of my clients are working women that are transitioning to entrepreneurs.
All right.
So,
Okay.
as they're driving to work or they're getting ready for work, they're listening to what we have going on. They're getting their business tips, and that also motivates them to work their business this week, right?
Ah,
When
I
they
love
wouldn't automatically think about that if they have a job.
yes. Affirm, align, activate on Mondays on Clubhouse at 6 a.m. Central Time. Now I just need to tell you, that's 4 o'clock over here.
I know I'm not gonna get my Pacific people on there, but
That's
it's good.
4 a.m. And
You can
sometimes I'm
always
just
listen to the replays.
yeah, that's when I'm waking up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you ain't trying to hear what I'm talking about.
And I
But
go right back under them covers. Well, but
replay,
that what I love what you're doing. I love that it's scripture based, and I think that is a wonderful way to start your morning.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, and then what is your Facebook group? Uh
So
oh,
the
what did
Facebook
I do?
group,
I just did something. Hold on, I don't know what I just did. I hit something and like we grew.
oh,
Oh, it's a oh, I accidentally did something I didn't know I could do. I went onto full screen, and then
wow.
we were on the whole full screen. Well, that's a new thing I just
Yeah, I
learned.
was about to say maybe they did that with the update of StreamYard.
Yeah, because that update had me messed up this morning. So Facebook.
Oh yeah, the Facebook group is called the Fempreneur Society
Oh,
Support Group for Female Entrepreneurs.
I love it.
And so I go live. I was going live in there every week too, but I kind of scaled back on going live in there because I'm going to revamp and start doing like a monthly masterclass where I take everything that I've done in the clubhouse rooms and make it a full teaching in my Facebook group.
I like it. So Facebook group, the Fempreneur. Did I spell that right?
Yes.
Okay, Society Support Group for Female Entrepreneurs. So that's pretty amazing. I love it, Nadia. I love
Yes.
everything about it. So we are about to wind down. We do go
Okay.
sometimes a little bit over time because when I have guests like you, I have a lot to say and a lot of information, and I so appreciate it. So a couple things. Um, I want to give. So those are some places where they can join your groups, but let's get to your IG handle.
My IG handle is WYSPTV.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. At that. Okay. And do you have another Facebook or is that your primary Facebook group?
Um, that is the primary group, but of course, I have several pages for my businesses. So
Okay.
they can definitely follow the What's Your Superpower TV page, the Power Conversations magazine page. My beauty page is Eris Beauty Lounge.
Oh, wait. So the what's your superpower page?
Yes, What's Your
Right.
Superpower TV. So it's also, well, I think it's spelled out on Facebook. So it's
Okay.
what's, but if you put the Facebook link in there, you can just put WYSPTV at the end as well.
Oh, okay. Can
Yeah,
you
you don't
get
have to
the
spell it out.
link? Can you give me the link? Do you have
Yeah,
it?
I'm gonna put it in the chat. Is that okay?
Uh-huh. Yes, yes.
All right.
Absolutely. So I'll just put your IG up right now. Uh, uh, uh. This is her IG. YSPTV. What's your superpower TV? I love it. I
Yes.
love that. So, is it there? Did you put it in the private chat for me?
Yes.
Good. Good, good.
And
All
then I'm
right.
gonna put my website for my beauty business
Ah, yes.
because we have something amazing coming up.
Ah, do tell, do tell.
So
What is it?
starting November the 1st, I did mention that I have my own hair care line. And so to boost the line, beginning November the 1st, we are kicking off the 90-day hair growth challenge.
Ooh,
There is Beauty Lounge. So you definitely want to get in here with that if you are trying to get you some inches for the winter. We are here to assist you. And
yes.
so, with that challenge, we are going to be doing growth checks, and you'll have exclusive discounts for my products. You'll get styling tips, like if you need some protective styles, or even if you just don't know what to do with your hair,
I
you'll
like
get healthy hair care tips. Actually, I have an ebook with the healthy hair care tips there for everyone. So it's going to be very exciting and fun, and we're going to let our hair grow together
look
because
at
something
that.
that I
And your hair is so healthy.
well, that was what I was about to get to. Something that I didn't mention throughout everything that we talked about tonight was the fact that all of the stress that I went through, raising my children and all of that, and my businesses, I um, got Graves' disease, which is a hyperthyroid issue. And
Mm,
so my hair began to fall out bad.
wow.
So I had very, very short hair, something that I never had issues with. And so that was also something that kind of had me in the dumps because when
Mhm.
we just want to look good with our own hair sometimes, and I
Yes.
had to wear quick weaves and braids and all of that stuff, which I
Mhm.
love it, but
Sure.
we want to run through our own hair sometimes, and
Yes.
mine was just like coming out, and it was like I said, it was about this short, and I never really had the desire to have my own hair care line. But when my hair started falling out and nothing was really helping me, I started looking for different products and stuff to use.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
began the hair care, Aries hair care systems. And
I
then
love it.
we are moving to the challenge this year. So I've had the hair care line for a couple of years. That's why my hair is back healthy and in full now. But
Yes,
baby,
awesome.
it's been a
Babe.
struggle. It
I
has been a struggle. But and I'm one that I really like short hair. So I really do cut my hair. Like I wear it here. I don't let it go
Mhm,
all the way. And it's because it's curled, it looks like it's up here, but it's longer.
mhm. Wow.
So since I am promoting my hair care products, I'm gonna let my hair grow for the hair growth challenge. All
That's
right.
it.
So
I love it.
come
You
on,
have to
Whitney,
do
let's
that.
get us some inches for the winter, baby.
I
And
love
try
So
the
I'm gonna
best
put all this up. So
product.
now we have this is the Facebook page for What's Your Superpower TV. So I hope that's been up there for a minute. I hope y'all got that. And then we have facebook.com power conversations. That's the link. It'll take you right to it. And then we have oh, yeah, we have that on both pages. And then what is this one? Oh, here we go. The erisbeautylounge.com. I like that name. And so this and now is this where they can find out about the challenge?
Yes. The
Okay.
challenge is free to join. All you
Okay.
have to do is purchase a trial size of our hair care line and use it along with us during the challenge.
Okay. And that is and the hair care line can be bought here on there.
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm gonna take my braids out.
Yes, that would be perfect.
So we might be
Perfect
able
take
to
back from braids.
fill it in. I honestly was thinking about cutting my hair again. I mean, like all the way.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
was like,
The big chop.
why? Why are you going to do that? I was like, I don't like to do it.
I love short hair. I ain't gonna lie. I do.
I do too. So I think that maybe I might join you all. And ladies, if you're
Oh,
out there and you want to join the hair, what's it called? The
the hair growth challenge.
hair growth challenge.
Yes,
At
and I do have a
the
group
end.
already on Facebook for that as well. So just reach out to me. When you go on the website, you'll be able to sign up for text. You'll be able to sign up for the challenge. But when you sign up for the challenge, we'll connect you with the Facebook group.
Okay, perfect. And then do you have an email that you want to put out here?
No, they can all reach me through my website.
Okay.
I
Okay.
answer.
Perfect. Perfect. So, ladies, if you're out there and your business needs a boost, your hair needs a boost, your
Yeah.
morale needs a boost, then please reach out to my friend Nadia Francois of Louisiana. And she has what it takes to help you go to the next level. And I love that. It's all about leveling up in
Yes.
3. So here we go. We're about to get into the holidays. You ladies want to look beautiful with your hair, and your hair is your crown and glory, as we all know.
Yes.
So, Nadia, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to have you today, this
Yes. Thank you for
evening.
having me. I truly enjoyed myself.
Yes, what fun we have. So, I want to, you can stay with me as I share. So,
Okay.
I want to share with you all that as Nadia mentioned, multiple streams of income, multiple streams of income. And a lot of people think that that means that you're scattered, but it doesn't.
It does
It
not.
means that you are increasing your income and diversifying your options.
Yes.
And so, as a result of that, I was using this product, and it was called the Lean Body System. And I really loved the product. And I bought it once and I used it, then I bought it again. And then I was about to purchase something this time, and the girl reached out to me, and I went to my page, and I actually had $50 credit, and I was like, "Well, how did that happen?" And she explained to me that even as a customer, you get credit for the products that you purchase. So from
Wow.
what I had purchased before, I had a $50 credit this time. So what I did was I applied that credit and became a social marketer for the company, and it's
Awesome.
called Modere, and it is amazing company. It's fast growing. Now they've been around, and the technology has been around. The science of what they use has been around for 30 years.
Mhm.
However, here's what is really amazing. each and every like month they're coming up with new products. And not only so this time I did not try the lean body system. I tried the Apex healthy something system, but it came with a liver cleanse. It came with phytonutrients, phyto greens, phyto reds, phyto golds, which is like ginger and those kinds of things that are all in this product. It came with a trebiotic. It came with digestive enzymes
Mm,
and all of that. And I cannot tell you, it also, I got it came with a collagen, liquid collagen.
mm.
And if you all know about collagen, collagen helps you to helps your skin, it helps your insides, and it helps with healing. And so as I am healing from surgery, I chose that pack because of all of those things. And it is amazing. I am excited that they are going to be launching a line for women that is relative to hormonal health. And
Oh,
so, ladies, there is something for everybody. So be on the lookout because I will be posting more and more about it. I'll be talking more about it because I love it. And as I am a holistic therapist, I believe in mind, body, and spirit. And so these are ways to just, you know, up your ante in this game of the energy that we need, the vibration that we need to elevate to, and all those good things. And it starts from the inside. So,
yes.
yes. So I want to thank you once again, Nadia. And I want to thank those of you out there. Thank you for hanging with us, for staying, for commenting, and just for loving us again on a Wednesday night. So I want to invite you back and I want to invite you to tell a friend. So Wednesdays at 6 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock
Central.
Central, and 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Join us on Boss Talk, and that's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars. And that's you. And of course, I must close out with my glasses. So I will see y'all next week. Live loved. Peace.